On the line is Dvir Abramovich, Anti-Defamation Commission Chairman, one of those who objected to David Icke coming to Australia. Dvir Abramovich, good morning.
Good morning, Neil. Good to be with you as always.
Why ban him? He sounds to me loopy and he should be hearing me laugh at him. Why not have him in the country?
Look, when we launched the campaign back in Jan, we wanted to put this item on the public agenda.
Yeah.
And look, there was a lot at stake here. This was a test of who we are as Australians. And as I said yesterday, it was a defining moment for our national character, for our values and ideals. This is a victory. It's a sweet victory. Because I think it would have been a mistake to throw open the doors and put out the welcome mat to a hate preacher.
But he's a nutter. He's a nutter, isn't he?
He's a nutter, but he's also a hate preacher. He spews anti-Semitic conspiracy theories and myths. You know, he traffics in the bigoted rants. And the bottom line is that David Icke is not welcome here. And I think it would have been a mistake for the government to legitimize and to mainstream his views and to give him a platform.
Of course, he denies his anti-Semitism. He denies being a Holocaust denier. Have you got evidence that he is?
Look, we worked for about 3 weeks to prepare a lot of materials for the Minister of Immigration for his office. We provided him with a smoking gun. This was indisputable. Now, I'm not saying that people should go out and read his 500-page book, and the truth shall set you free, but we did. Some of the things that he says is that the Jews are responsible for World War I, that Jews financed Hitler's rise to power. He claims that violent, racist, far-right groups are actually fronts for the Jews. He says that the Jews were responsible for the anti-Semitic forgery, the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, that Jews were involved in the domestic terrorism committed by Timothy McVeigh, which you would remember in the Oklahoma. He argues the Jews were behind the slave trade, and he makes this statement that Jews actually control neo-Nazi white supremacist group, the Ku Klux Klan. So, he comes on your show and he talks about lizards and he denies that he's an anti-Semite and a Holocaust denier. But this is a man in his book actually says that the Jews bankrolled and funded Hitler. So,
well, a Jewish clique, he says. He doesn't say all. He doesn't. Well, he says a Jewish clique, I think, doesn't he? Is that
he talks about the Warburgs, part of the Rothschild Empire.
Oh, yeah.
So he used the word the Rothschild Empire helped finance Adolf Hitler, and he says the Jews are behind anti-Semitic attacks, which are fabricated. So we went through the book. Believe me, it was a torturous process. But I think the broader point is this, that we have to make a decision about who we are as a nation. And this was a moral decision. The government was saying, we are taking a moral stance. We're going to reject hate and incitement. And I think that if the government would have allowed Icke into the country, not only would it have crossed red lines, it would have sent a message that it's open season on the Jewish community. And Neil, if you and I say that it's okay for David Icke to come in, the message that you and I are sending to young people is that it's okay and it's normal to demonize and malign and vilify anybody who looks different.
There's a lot of people coming to this country with views I don't agree with. A lot of them. And I mean, I was one of those who argued David Irving should come in, although I had a hell of a fight with him on air and I thought he's abhorrent. But I thought he should come in because after all, he's got words. Has not got evil actions. He's got evil words.
But I think the distinction that, and I disagree with you, Neil, because I would have opposed. But I want to make this point. Hate speech, incitement, as represented by David Irving and David Icke, are just plainly dangerous. We don't often talk about the huge toll that hate speech, that racial and religious vilification takes on its victim. Incitement and hate are slow-acting poison, and they rob people of their dignity and sense of security. So when you have somebody like David Icke coming and saying, Jews bankrolled Hitler, Jews are responsible for the Ku Klux Klan, Jews were behind the slave trade, what it's doing is that it's causing others to actually hate Jews, to see Jews as a threat and as a danger. Do we want to live in a society where everybody is accorded respect and equality and can go about their daily lives without facing a verbal assault?
Of course we do, but I think also we're possibly giving this bloke greater credibility by banning him, greater notoriety. He's been here 10 times before. Did he do anything damaging in those 10 times?
Well, we know that words are bullets. We know that radicalization and incitement are dangerous. Look, we've had an explosion in anti-Semitism over the last year, Neil. Over the last 2 weeks, we've had several incidents where the rabbi taking his young daughter to school somebody drove by with kids surrounding that rabbi, telling him, "You effing Jew." We had a man walking back from synagogue on a Saturday morning when 3 boys snatched his Orthodox hat and ran away.
Yeah.
We've had a bottle thrown at a congregant coming out of a synagogue. You know the story that we broke a few weeks ago about a Jewish rabbi who was subjected to a road rage attack.
Yep, sure.
We've had 3 Jewish students on a bus being told that they should go into the gas chambers. We don't have to wait for the scenes that we see in Europe where Jews are actually being murdered before the alarm bells go off.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate that. I thought it was important to get your reasons. I know you were a key part of having him refused entry. Dvir Abramovich, he's the chair of the Anti-Defamation Commission. 96900 693 13 13 32. Your views. Lizards. I mean, that's why I started with that issue. I think that, yes, eventually we got to the point, after he told me 3 times to read his book, we got to the point that he does believe that the world is run by giant lizards disguised as humans, including the royal family. I think that sort of says it all about this bloke.